My name is Frank Morrocco. I did 21 years in federal prison, and I'm on here chatting with Staxx right now and enjoying it.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Frank Morrocco.
He OR'd me because he knew.
Yeah, but you're on parole. You're on parole, though, right? You're on parole. So.
But the Buffalo News did a big story on me that it says it was an act of desperation. So now the judge ORs me. I says, what the fuck? So I'm coming now. The Buffalo Federal Building is all glass. I'm coming down the escalator. I see Fox News. I see Luke Moretti, who's one of the troubleshooters for Channel 4 Buffalo News. And I see all these fucking trucks and phones out there. I said, holy shit, there's got to be somebody high profile in here. I walk out the door, Mr. Morrocco, Mr. Morrocco. Oh, my God, I had to compose myself, you know? And finally, it was during Obamacare. I was on Fox News and everything. I created, this was not my plan. I created such a stir during Obamacare that I chose to go back to prison to get chemo than stay on the street, that their hands are tied. They gave me, I got fucking full coverage with Fidelis. I get prescription glasses. I got dental. I got the best coverage in the world.
So it all worked out.
Yeah, but I've been in trouble a few times since then with petty.
Are you done with prison now?
I actually, at this point, owe a couple months on a county case that I'll probably have to do not a big deal. Some bullshit case. I got involved with stolen property. And, I don't know why. My money's not like it used to be. I was buying cars.
So you're going to go back in?
County jail. I'll probably have to do a couple months. I'll keep you posted. Send me some commissary money.
Yeah, let me know.
No,
I will. No,
I got money aside for that.
You got a book coming out or anything like that? You ever think?
I've been offered it. I became very good friends with Dan Herbeck from the Buffalo newspaper, who did many stories on me. Actually, he did the book. I got a bookcase here. I'd show it to you, but I don't want to leave this where I'm sitting. He did a book called American Terrorist about Timmy Lee McVeigh. And he actually did it with McVeigh at the prison. They wrote the book, and I got an autographed copy sent to me in prison. I got autographed copies from some cool people. A friend of mine is a legitimate pharmacist, and I got him an autographed copy of George Jung's book. You know who George Jung was?
Yeah.
I got him an autographed copy. My buddy who was a pharmacist. I had George Jung. But here's a funny story. So I'm in a prison, and George Jung's there. And he didn't, I just got there, I think. I was there minutes. He didn't know who the fuck I was. And somebody had to point me out to him. So he's sitting at a table one day. I got my Ray-Bans on and shit. I roll up to the table. I said, you George Jung? He says, yeah, I am. I said, my name's Frank. He said, how you doing? I said, what day do you go to the commissary? He says, why? I said, all them fucking kilos I was involved in back then, you owe me some, at least a fucking ice cream. And everybody started laughing.
So what do you got planned for the future, man? Just living your life, trying to get by?
I don't do, I live on Social Security, I got my cars, I got my Harley, I got a nice apartment. I'm single right now. Last girl drove me fucking nuts. I don't know how it is at my age that, and it's not a sugar daddy thing, but I ended up with younger girls. The last girl was 46 years old. We were together for a couple of years. And right now I'm single, not really. I don't do much in this Buffalo area with this weather in the winter. Like, dude, I hibernate. Some days, listen, you called me yesterday to do it. I hadn't shaved in 4 days. I hadn't left the house. I said, we can't do it today, man. I ain't shaved or nothing. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm not going out there looking like a scruff. And I did. I looked like I was in a cave with Bin Laden. But summertime, I do a lot. I like the events on my Harley. I got a badass Harley. I sent you a picture of it. And I like being in the wind. I really do.
Yeah, it's a fun time. Definitely.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to Rob
Yeah,
Rosso.
man, we got a lot of stories. I know. I think he might have went back to prison. I know
Well, the last time he went back,
did end up back in prison. He was doing
did you see the one video he did?
the show. What he was doing the show from prison at one point, right?
Yeah, no, and he was doing a pretty good job. You're even hearing the recording. This is coming from a county jail. He dug himself out of a life sentence. Dude, he had life. You know how he had bladder cancer. You know how he got it, don't you?
I'm doing.
Well, this is right from Rob Rosso. You know, he made, and he told me every morning when he made a cup of coffee, he put a spoon in his coffee, and that caused him bladder cancer. But he's a survivor. He's still around, and he hooked a fucking gorgeous girl out of fucking Spain from prison.
Yeah, and married her. She came by. She came to the U.S. and everything.
Oh, dude, and she was no scruff. She had money. She came from money. She was a class girl, and she falls for Robert Rosso. Did nothing against Robert Rosso, but I had the same thing happen.
It'll bring you down. It'll really drag you down, man. It'll destroy your life.
Listen, Bill destroyed my life. I'd be a multimillionaire now if I did a few more years in prison. Once that market recouped, because I lost like fucking 90 grand when Lehman Brothers went down, and had I did a couple more years in prison when that market, I'd be a millionaire. Now, I'll tell you a funny story. Is I got no computer or nothing, but I'm listening to my radio every morning, Bloomberg Radio. Michael Bloomberg used to be the mayor of New York City, and he was a financial wizard. He had a radio show about stocks, and he had a TV show about stocks. Now, I didn't work in prison. I used to donate the weekly pay, and I would only do shit that benefited the inmates in my unit. So I told him, right, I'm not working. But I would clean the microwaves. I would clean the phones. Every so often, I'd buff and wax the floors, and I would donate the pay. And when Lehman Brothers went down and the market stood out, I had blue chip stocks. I had GM. I had so many blue chips. And Ford went below. I had I think 7,500 shares of Ford that I was in for like $13 a share. Ford, when the market went down, when Lehman Brothers went down, Chrysler and GM went under. They had to take a bailout. Ford did. Ford, their CEO was very smart. So now I cash my shit out because I lost fucking like almost 100 grand. And I cashed. I even sold one of the fucking Harleys so I could reinvest. So now I got to use a broker because I don't have a computer. But I'm on the phones. I'm on. I get up at 6 in the morning. I listen to Bloomberg Radio, and I'm catching all kinds of good shit. And I'd call my broker up. Well, when Ford went below $1, it's no longer a blue chip. It's a penny stock. It went down to like 90 cents. I called my broker up. I said, Don, he says, buy 10,000 shares of Ford. It would have cost me 10 grand. He said, Frank, this car market's got me fucking scared. He says, I wouldn't do it. Dude, it went up to $18. My 10 grand would have been 180,000. I would have probably pulled out at 13, but I would have made over 100,000 on 10 grand.
Well, we could do this all day, man. You're always welcome back here. We'll do more in the future.
Yeah. You got my phone number.
Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we go?
I got some good friends, Sue Schifferly, Rick Giza, support your local outlaws, that's about it. Just a shout out. Listen, I had a good Facebook page. Shout out to all my friends on Facebook too, because I got a good following. And most of my Facebook page are people that I've known from, since high school and grade school. So shout out to all my friends too. And my mother and father and everybody in my family and everything.
If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too bad. Start your own podcast.